One man's sixth sense of time and space allow him to perform feats as if he were a god. Another man exhibits a strange and even empowering relationship with electricity, while one neuropsychiatrist has discovered via thorough research and experimentation that the ability to read the thoughts of others may be much more than just BS. Could these mutations perhaps permeate throughout our race? Redefine your definition of the word impossible in this list of 7 people with real-life superpowers. Number 7. The samurai with a sixth sense. 41-year-old Isao Machii is definitely the kind of guy you'd want on your superhero team, although you may want to stand back when he's making a salad. Known as the modern-day samurai, this master swordsman travels around slicing up melons that his audience throws at him. Not impressed at the real-life ninja? Okay, what about his ability to cleave open a tennis ball flying at him at 400 miles an hour? Or his ability to split an airsoft gun pellet traveling at 170 meters per second using a katana? Machii has a superhuman ability to process the world around him, and instead of using his visual and aural senses, he anticipates the exact location of an object at the specific moment he needs to destroy it. It seems he ignores the usual 5 human senses and instead pays attention, perhaps, to his vestibular sense, which allows humans to sense movement and direction, but which most of us don't rely on to this degree. Or maybe his mind just sees everything permanently in slow motion. Number 6. The Invulnerable Ones. Wolverine had adamantium grafted onto his skeleton, making him super tough to destroy, but what if someone was already built like that? In 1994, a man known only as John was involved in a horrific car wreck. Yet, whilst others suffered broken bones and torn flesh, John escaped unharmed, aside from small cuts and bruises. Was this due to luck? Well, not according to the doctor who examined him. He discovered that not only were his bones unbroken, but they were 8 times denser than those of an average person. Maybe fat people were telling the truth all along, and big bone really is a thing. This condition led to the identification of more people with super strong skeletons, and it was discovered that, amazingly, they all share the same lineage. So if you meet someone from this race of invincible beings, you may want to try hurting them emotionally with insults, because sticks and stones are gonna do jack squat against their bones. Number 5. The Dolphin Guy. Remember all those awesome things you saw growing up through the eyes of a child? Fairgrounds, the night sky, your first baseball game? Well, Ben Underwood didn't. That's because life decided to take his sight when he was only 3. So, did he sit at home and cry about it? No, because he had no eyes and that looked kind of weird. Instead, he developed an incredible ability to echolocate, i.e. to see using sound. Also known as biosonar, this involves making noises and using the subsequent echoes to identify your environment. Ben made clicks using his tongue and developed this ability to an exceptional level. Dolphins and bats famously use this technique, and both have heavily developed auditory cortexes on the temporal lobe of their brain. Ben just said a big screw you to fate and managed to live an active life that involved rollerblading, basketball, and skateboarding. Sadly, despite his awesomeness, Ben died in 2009, aged only 16, when he succumbed to the same cancer which took his sight. But in his short life, he truly demonstrated the dexterity of the human brain, the untapped powers which lie within us, and the determination to live which we're capable of in the face of adversity. Number 4. A mind over matter. When my girlfriend tells me I'm incapable of having feelings, it's usually because I've forgotten her birthday and had sex with her sister. When Tim Cridland's girlfriend tells him this, it's probably because she's forced a skewer through his face just for fun. Tim Cridland feels no pain. Doctors say this is caused by malfunctioning receptors in his brain's nerve cells, whereas Tim claims a different condition known as Billy Big Balls syndrome. He claims to use mind over matter, admitting that he feels pressure and temperature and just simply blocks out the pain. His pain threshold has even been tested using fire, swords, and even electrocution, and he doesn't even flinch. If the medical community is right, and there are receptors which can be manipulated to turn off pain, perhaps one day all humanity could enjoy such pain-free comfort, and never again fear the sensation of bare feet on Legos. Number 3. Das UberBlur. In 1999, those ever-efficient Germans one-upped the world again when a baby was born with muscles you and I can only dream of. Doctors discovered that his shredded appearance was caused by a defective mutation. A mutation that doesn't really sound so defective to me, although nobody really knows what the long-term effects of it are. Will he get stronger, or will he get weaker? And what caused this in utero transformation into a literal super baby? Actually, farmers have attempted to exploit these mutations in cattle to grow gigantic, beefed-up cow herds. Have some of these mutations in the meat we eat affected our own DNA? Thus far, nobody has come up with a very solid explanation as to whether this kid is unique or not, or whether he's the first of many giant baby overlords who will one day rule the earth. Number 2. Electric. One day, he suffered a horrific tragedy which affects all of our lives at some point. His damn TV broke. Zingagang presumably swore in Chinese before attempting to fix the thing, but when he did, his hand unfortunately brushed against a live wire, with precisely 0 negative consequences. So just like any other normal person, he touched the wire again. But curiosity spared this cat, and he felt nothing. He continued to tease death by molesting electrical equipment for many years, and tests later revealed he has 7 times the electrical resistance of a normal human. Not only does he feel no pain from these shocks, but he claims electric currents actually invigorate him. I'm a little bit worried myself if this mutation were to take off, because for Christ's sake, we have enough stuff we have to charge every day. We don't need to charge ourselves too. Number 1. Real life telepaths. Now, the prevailing caricature of autistic children paints them as emotionally stunted humans with the capability for genius in ways non-autistic humans aren't capable of. But what's the truth behind this? And how much do we have to blame on Dustin Hoffman's overacting in Rain Man? Some pretty credible researchers believe that telepathy may be an as-of-yet untapped function of the brain, which some autistic children actually have access to. Recently, neuropsychiatrist Dr. Diane Hennessy Powell, author of the ESP Enigma, the scientific case for psychic phenomena, demonstrated telepathic mind reading in closely supervised scientific case studies of severely autistic children, with amazingly accurate results. In one of her studies, test subjects accurately guessed a 20-digit number in an assistant's head without seeing or hearing them, and did this repeatedly. Just try searching Google for some of her research, and I guarantee that your mind will be at least a little blown. Autism affects social behavior and limits the brain's ability to communicate feelings effectively, so is it so much of a stretch to imagine that the brain simply adapts to this challenge, much like Ben Underwood's did after losing his sight? Perhaps the brains of some autistic children, frustrated with an inability to communicate verbally, move to heighten a different, less developed ability, the ability to speak directly, brain to brain, with another human. Perhaps this is a mutation that's going to evolve into the human race in the future. Or maybe, just maybe, it's already there, and we just don't know how to access it. Want to watch more cat videos? Or perhaps slideshows of silly pictures someone found on Google Images? Kill yourself. Or perhaps you want to have your mind blown apart, forget your current surroundings, and feel that sense of wonder you used to have as a child. Once again, as you take a journey through the ancient past in our 8 biggest Secrets of the Pyramids You've Never Heard Of video. Go ahead, click on it. Even if you possess the superhuman ability of being a hater, which there are many as you'll see below, go ahead and subscribe anyway, and you'll get more mind-blownage that's scheduled to be published soon. And then soon again after that. 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 And then soon again after that.